Welcome, my dear friends, to All Souls Temple. Shout out to Enya, our featured choir guest today. What are we doing here at Aquarian Temple? We are creating together our own way of expressing our religiosity, our spirituality in community, in healthy, even fulfilling manners, ways, exercises, practices. Taking the best from our cultures, that which rings to be true to the upliftment of every human being's dignity equally. We take the best from the world's religions, philosophical traditions, sciences, and that which does not respect the human's dignity equally is addressed, educated, embraced, nourished, loved, uplifted, with a hope in our fellow human being, acknowledging our own faults, and making a firm amendment to correct them, to make amends where we can, and to forgive ourselves as we forgive others. Here at All Souls Temple, we have come to perhaps the realization that much of these religious myths, especially the ones from the Abrahamic tradition, such as Christianity and Islam, are based on stories that are not historical so much nor factual, but fiction, and perhaps carrying with them allegorical, metaphorical meanings. So we take from those, and then the parts of these religious traditions that have in them, within their theology, a promotion of one race of humans over another. We take a historically critical approach to religion. Why? Because my background is a director of religious education and faith formation in the Catholic Church with a master's degree in theology from a Catholic university, an undergraduate degree in religious studies from a secular university. I have spent a year in priestly formation in a religious order of Catholic priests. And so that's my background. Another name for this is All Souls Aquarian Church. I'm using the word church and temple because this is really addressing religion and taking on the body of a religion to reform. Me, mainly out of the Catholic tradition, which includes Christianity as a whole, and the religion that it came out of, Judaism, and the religion that Islam came out of, Judaism. So when we look to the source from where Christianity and Islam came out of, we get a better understanding of this phenomena. How it was created, perhaps why, what purposes is it being used for, why. They have us Aquarianism, which is what this is, All Souls Aquarian Church. It's not a Christian church in the sense that it celebrates the life of a historical Jesus. It could take in Christianity whence, if it comes to the realization that they're in the admittance that this Jesus character is not a historical figure, is a fictional character based on many other mythologies set into this time and place. And it was used, Christianity, of growth out of Judaism, with other influences of the area that it was formed in, namely Alexandria, Egypt, Hellenized, and Rome, Hellenized, Greco-Romans. And so we have these people claiming to be from Judean, Mesopotamian, Babylonian, and that's the religious myth of those people that we have. Yes, most people who worship the God of that religion, but thanks to the Bible and the workings of Judaism's religious existence, and then its offshoot, Christianity, and then Islam, look what it's done. It's caused a lot of harm when we're arguing over whose interpretation of just this Abrahamic God of the Bible, my friends. I'm sorry. It needs to be addressed. And we're sometimes we misinterpret respect for other people's religious beliefs as not being able to criticize it. We should probably do it within a manner of love and compassion. But it needs to be addressed. Because then they use it as a cloak to hide and use religion to pacify the people, to keep them in a delusional waiting on a savior state. We see that in the workings of this QAnon government conspiracy. That the government is secretly, I know it doesn't look like it, but the government is secretly in charge behind the scenes. The white hats. Let us give up our best intentions, that truth might come, that we might be able to best discern truth and then act in accordance. Let us seek to bring out the beauty in this world. Let us be lit up with illumination to take down the Illuminati. We're behind the scenes, dog. Oh, so at All Souls we do. It's just like the internet. The internet in itself just is phenomena. It's reality. No, it's what you do with it. You can steal money from honest charity organizations, or you could build a community that brings people together, that educates, that uplifts, that seeks to be non-dogmatic, that seeks to, these are Aquarian attributes right now, that seeks to create community based on humanitarianism, celebrating each one's unique individuality, and striving towards a full individuation and helping each other out as we travel along that process. So, a little bit about me. More is that I've, through my studies, come to the realization that Christianity was created to, or it served the purpose of, who knows, we can't know for sure why it was created, though we could look at what its utility has been. Namely, to take away the worship of one's ancestral traditions or their traditional practices and ceremony and rites and rituals and gods and cosmology and replacing it with this one, a form of Judaism, Hellenized some. We need to come up with alternative ways of expressing our religiosity and our spirituality in community. And that doesn't include blood sacrifice rituals, torturing of animals or of humans, or of some mock scapegoat blood atonement ritual. I'm Catholic. I grew up. I had a great adoration for the Blessed Sacrament. But it is my honest opinion, and I can't only show evidence of it, but that I was created as almost like a dark psychological operation, using religion, theology, to be used to manipulate the masses so that those elite could gain power and control, and keep control by pointing to the Bible and saying that, look, it says that I've been divinely instituted by Jesus through Peter as a pope, as the Pontifex Maximus. Well, since we've come to the realization through our critical historical approach at religion that this Jesus character was a creation by those familiar with the Hebrew scriptures, having him fulfill prophecies. And there's two Messiahs, Messiah ben Joseph, Messiah ben David. Messiah ben Joseph is the suffering servant that comes first, who prepares the soul for Messiah ben David to come into, the conquering one. So, the Jewish scribes, priests, the educated ones who wrote the Christian scriptures, gave them a Jewish superhero who was taught to turn the other cheek. Now, there's some beautiful things when we could take Christ consciousness, and this is related to pretty much the word crest. The first mention of Christians in history was actually Christians, hinting to, quite obviously in the name, the crest of the wave of our chakras, our crown. When we're able to raise it always comes back to controlling your primitive sexual or desires for life, really. It's that primal spark within us. It's likened to the color red in our root chakra. Red, like Mars, fire. Ma-Adam is Hebrew for the planet Mars. Adam means red. So Adam was formed from red clay. Red is that fire element. Clay is water element mixed with earth element. And now we're just missing one other element to make that complete. Air. The breath that is blown into Adam to animate him. So air is, it's hard to say what element has been really so as we go into Aquarius, it's the air, and it's likened to God. The dot means God. But what are some dangers? That we lose the heart, the spark of our soul, our feeling. Fire is like the more feminine of the two elements of air and fire, who sit on Aquarius, air, fire, Leo. That's the axis that we're going into. We're just coming off the axis of water and as Pisces, and then of earth, which is Virgo. So, and mutable, so that's like working the clay together. And then Aquarius comes in with Leo, fire, air and fire. That's like a new human creation being born. So there's a Kabbalists look at transhumanism as like what we're supposed to do, as the rabbis believe that they're God on earth, just like the Pope does. Where do you think he got that from? And lots of the Roman emperors. At first, the Roman Empire was used to conquer the world. And then the religious priests took over. The priestly lineage is David. Who takes over at that? No, I'm sorry. The priestly lineage is Aaron. And then there's another kingly royal line of David. And there's arguments and evidence, perhaps, that there's the two papal families have been battling. One claimed to be from Joseph, the other from David. And that's like the Merovingians and the Medici and the Borgia. I got so deep. We've had like 14 Jewish known popes. It's been used to subvert the Gentile nations and to crush them. That's why the first one is the Messiah, which is the reincarnation of Esau, who's the nations: Edom, Amalek, Rome, Egypt, Babylon, Magog, and Gog. There's using this scripture as a script for a one world religion. It's Abrahamism. It's not some new age thing. This is anti one world religionism right now. We're looking for you to celebrate your own ancestral ones and mix them up with other ones in a new way that is imaginative, that's an expression of your unique individuality. Reaching out, a great gift pouring out to the community. Let us be fountains of drip. Okay, so this is just my first All Souls Temple post. I had some cards and some astrology to talk about, because that's how things I incorporate into my expression of Aquarianism. And you can find out more about Aquarianism at theaquarian.tv. But the All Souls is my own unique way of reforming mainly the Western Abrahamic faiths. And I don't really have much interaction with the East. Like, well, in the East, what religion gets used as is the emperor is divine. That's not equal. To have a royal family is the idea of royalty is what usually that's mostly upheld by a religious narrative. We are breaking out of literalism. We are pulling out, as if we're pulling it out like through oil, which is what the word Moshiach means. Messiah, anointed with oil. It's bringing oil to the crest, to the crown. And that oil is our inner spinal cerebral fluid. And we bring it up by vibrating higher, by raising that red root chakra up to our crown. We see that as a plume on soldiers' helmets through the medieval times. Medieval times. Alright, so, I did pick some. How long has this been going on? How long has this been going on? How long? So this is my creative attempt to create All Souls Temple. It needs to have schools, charity events, raising money, buildings, your own plot of freaking land. We are breaking out of this system. Oh, the Empress. I had her upside down, which has me thinking about the North Node is in Taurus. The South Node is in Scorpio. We are about to enter into Scorpio season, where Persephone, I think close to Aphrodite, Venus, gets taken down by Pluto, or into Hades, which is Mars or Pluto, ruler of Scorpio. The descent of Nana is an old myth about the descent of Venus through the seven heavens. Or at least just into the underworld. But yeah, she goes through 7 layers and she gets stripped of her clothes, some piece of jewelry, and she has to come in on her knees naked, begging to her sister to release her loved one from captivity. Our primal fire energy. Dog, they want to take that off of us. Try to emasculate men. But there's also, they want men to not get in touch with their emotional side either. That's when you go in, the in movement is the feminine. Going out, electricity is masculine. So they don't want us going out or in. They want us trapped in La La Land. The elite of secret societies, they teach that those uninitiated, those who have been given the light, the unillumined, are walking zombies, sleeping in the dark, not given this light of knowledge of gnosis about the real inner workings of reality, and then how to manipulate it for dark psychology, preying on our emotional realm, so that we're not using our mental realm. Which is Libra season that we're in right now. Which I just saw the Ace of Swords on the bottom of the deck. We have the Magician card. The number 1 card. When we're upright, when we're using our spine, working up it and coming down it, ascending and descending, each time better than the last, but being perfectly in the now, perfectly imperfect, but ascending and spiraling up, not descending down. But knowing that often, let our ups and downs, our comings and our goings be blessed. I don't like the word blessed. It means the etymology of that goes to sprinkling blood on an altar. We have to be very careful the words I think we use. Like, even the word God, I think it comes from goat prod, which harkens to Saturn in Capricorn. Anyways, so we have the South Node in Scorpio. Our past traumas, our desires, our primal instinctive nature, we grab it by its root, firmly stuck into a heart of freaking earth of sexual feminine energy. We're bringing down the sun goddess, and she's the goddess of the dawn. That first, perhaps it's sexual attraction that keeps us from doing anything in this world. But we have to harness that energy and not let them drain us with. I'm guilty of it. I'm addicted to caffeine, but and then there's something about like people get religious and then they get religious about their bodies because they realize it's the temple. All Souls Temple. That's a bunch of temples coming together for a temple temporarily. A place for Saturn, actually, which goes to the black cube. I have so much. I'm doing all my stuff on All Souls Temple now. I'm bringing in everything into this one place. We're going to have All Souls Temples, All Soul Aquarian churches, All Souls secular school. It's a secular religion is what All Souls Aquarianism is. Aquarianism is what I talk about all the time. Sorry, that was a little curt. We're bringing out the good. We're highlighting the beautiful. And we're cutting off that which doth not serve us as a humanitarian collective consciously evolving. So, mote it be. We're switching the game up, dog. And we're becoming magicians. And we gotta go in to release that virgin oil, to tap into that virgin oil. By purifying the heart, then we cleanse the soul so that we could bring in the highest light and be great temples of that fire. Yeah, all souls in the temples, we want to have a fire that we keep lit all the time, and then light other people's homes with that fire during winter time. They used to do that in all the traditions. It still shows up in Abrahamism. The fire, Hanukkah, the oil in the temple, which comes from Zoroastrianism. A lot of our stuff comes from that Proto-Indo-European, Proto-Indo-Iranian language, which is recorded in Sanskrit, which was been kept alive from India mostly, and which even goes into Norse language in Egypt and Sumerian. Who knows where this all started, but it's fun. We're trying to learn history and acknowledging that they might give us one history that is perhaps skewed in one direction. Maria escriba. We have fun. We do get together, have fun, do fun stuff. But also, yeah, there's this whole also a new age thing about like just soberness, which is true. Dog, they keep us drunk. And religion can be the opiate of the masses. Can it be used to spur people to action, though? We have that in the whole Moses story, set my people be, but those people aren't, I'm sorry, they're not my people. So the God of the Bible who wants to wipe out are like my historical people. And then Christianity has you thinking that you've been grafted on as an afterthought somehow. We have to change our idea of God. Henotheism is really what was morphed out of this polytheistic Canaanite religion that that's mixed together with Egyptian, Babylonian mostly, polytheistic religion that got formed into Judaism and formed into Christianity and Islam. So if we go back to Abrahamism, the father of it all, and we see that's not a literal person. Because Abba, the alphabet, the beginning. Alpha, Omega. This is all just esoteric stuff that they made literal. And learning the esoteric meanings of these is a way to see that they're allegorical, symbolic. Ball. We're bringing back all the ancestral gods and especially goddesses without neglecting the man, but we bring them together in harmony so that they grow. But celebrating our differences of gender. And the coming together of them. That's what this is all about. All Souls Aquarian syncretic secular church and temple. Sound healing. I've had Aquarian get-togethers, 2 of them already in public in a really hip studio place, and we incorporated sound bowl healing. Oh, that's my girl Allie B. Norman. She's the lady who owned the studio who let us go gather there. Get together in human gatherings. Being online isn't enough. It's also an agnostic church. Non-dogmatic. We're just trying to figure this all out together. Let's go out with the bell. May we come up with the best ideas, inspirations, and bring them into earth. From heaven. Into Mother Earth. Air into matter. Thoughts into the material. Out with the old, we shed that which does not serve our highest good, and we are born into the highest version of ourselves right now. Why? Because we say it, and that's our intention, and that's the power we have to bring freaking heaven to earth. We have the key. We are taking spirituality, the occult world, and we are reforming it all. If you're doing blood sacrifice rituals, you're expressing Hecate wrong. But when you grab your primal energy and through self-discipline and love and kind actions and thoughts, we raise it up through our colored astral light bodies to animate more fully our physical bodies. Hecate. So get primal. Take on spirit animals. There is such thing as a holy anger. May we be the sword of justice. Judgment upon the earth! Fire! Non-violently. Water. Ooh. With our intention, our passion, our desires, our intention to this water is to give us health and wealth. Blissful, ecstatic union with the all. In our temple, we keep that flame lit, that eternal flame that no darkness can vanquish. And we run with this torch as we walk through life. Sunday services, Saturday services, Friday services is what today. Friday, celebrate Freya, Frigg, Venus, Aphrodite, Ishtar, and Nana, all named for Venus. Love, beauty, and truth. You don't need to sacrifice animals to it. That's ugly. It's sad. Compassion. When we bring our passions together, maybe in the fashion of compassion. Hold on. I just thought about something. So, grabbing the tail of the serpent of the Scorpio in the death realm, in the dark, and it's that feminine. It's dark is a feminine element in water. Scorpio, it's a feminine element. Yeah, dark is an element, but it's the dark side of the year. That Scorpio is the first fixed sign in. When we go into fall, where the sun falls, and it's no longer in its strength. In the book of life, which is at the end of the first 6 months, they have in the Jewish tradition that you get your name written in the book of life. From Libra, the book, to Aries, the library. The book of life. And then the book of death is the bottom part of the circle of life and death. That's why the ancient Egyptian book of the dead is also called the book of the life. There's a profound mystery in that. Let us enter into the mysteries and be enlightened with the very brilliance of whatever you want to call it. What does your dance look like? Move that spine around, release that energy up instead of out. Onk it, anchor it. We're rooted in the love of Mother Earth. And we shoot out as a palm tree into the stars of the heaven. We have a home in the heavens and a home here in sacred earth. Gaia.
Tread soft upon the earth. She is
Our mother. She is our mother. We got weird.
It is growing.
Always growing.
Gaia, Gaia.
We do blessings.
Tread soft upon the earth.
She is our mother.
She
Take some
is
essential
our
oil.
mother. Feel her
Reminding
love
us
beneath our feet.
of the chrism within us that we are royal.
always growing.
Now, as an outward sign of that, and doing it outward and making it so inwards, we take this sacred oil and crown ourselves with the mark of the 8-pointed star, the Aquarian, fully realized and individuated human, at one with all that is divine and fully human, taken upon the earth as its throne. Ooh, we are fucking kings and queens of this earth. We are growing, always growing. Yeah, yeah, cha, cha, cha. We are freaking magicians. Each with your own temple. This is what mine looks like. What does yours look like? How do you want to set up stuff? Your rituals, your sacred ceremonies. Get magical, magical. I wanna get spiritual. Let me see your temple.